To fully appreciate the impact Bauhaus principles have had on web design, one has to first understand some history of Bauhaus itself. Born out of postmodernism and founded by Walter Gropius in early 1900s, the German school's name translated to School of Building. While the Bauhaus Manifesto emphasized simplicity, symmetry, unity, subtlety, and continuity, the true contribution to modern design would be the simple mantra, form follows function.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Somewhere more terrestrial, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency was working hand-in-hand with scientific teams at major universities to get ARPANET online, and speaking its first words later that year. The Internet was born. So we'll jump forward a little bit. Give the Internet some time to be used for all sorts of purposes. Then we'll slow down and focus on the first semblance of need for design at a user level. Here. Online BBS systems through Usenet were one of the first systems with which average users started digesting information online. As such, the information had to be formatted. Even if just barely. Not very pretty, is it? As demand for this sort of real-time content grew, so did the capabilities of presentation. Prodigy was installed in schools and allowed us to easily navigate forwards and backwards in panes of information. This later gave way to other information networks, which all tried to standardize within the Netscape Navigator browser. The problem, though, was how the content was being formatted. While HTML sought to incite a set of principles, for many years all it did was bumble along, giving content creators a way to make their information noticeable. How was one to stand out from the crowd? Apparently the solution was to make our pages worse. And worse. And worse. But there is hope. Here is CNET.com in October of 1996. The ever-increasing demand for content started requiring some form of organization for our web pages. A sidebar, title bar, or both, became standard form, allowing us to navigate through different sections of the site without nearly as much scrolling as before. 1997 and 98 went by rather uneventful, while the year 2000 brought about more of a directory-style listing, consistent with the format of top search engines at the time. In 2001, you can finally see a move to a stricter, column layout with the most relevant information at the top. 2002 brought about more visual aesthetics as graphics and headers were starting to be used in order to separate blocks of content from each other. It seemed as though both those elements were finally being placed with purpose in order to guide a viewer through the function of the page. Up through 2004, not much changed, besides an overload of content and seemingly nowhere to put it. But in 2005, the site was redesigned yet again, with the first real elements of modern block style. This method, also seen as a cleaner version in 2006, broke content up into main sections that were easy for the reader to digest. Header, including navigation. Sidebar, with sub-navigation. The body, broken down into relevant sections. And the footer. The 2008 iteration seems to be the cleanest version of this to date. One peculiar thing we will notice is that the 2007 archived version of CNET.com is organized in a strange text-only way that seems to be a throwback to the early 90s. What's happening here is the separation of form and content through the use of cascading style sheets. See, a search engine needs to crawl only certain information on a site, and the search robots don't care what the site looks like aesthetically. Because of this, it is important for our menus, titles, pictures, and content to be in the simplest, cleanest form possible, with the least relevant information, such as comments, search, and navigation, at the bottom of the page. You can see how any modern site uses this separation of content and style to enhance its functionality by simply stripping away the CSS. The separation of these two has allowed us to create a limitless amount of websites that adhere to a standard set of functional rules. The weighted headers and footers draw our eyes to the exact sections we need to see, while the de facto two-column layout provides just enough room for easy viewing without too much distraction. The question is, where do we go from here? With content hitting us from all sides, it's not surprising that the next major step is curation. However, there haven't been any fantastic leaps forward in content curation yet. As such, the form can't even be decided, because no one has even managed to settle on the function of just how to best filter the information we are already being exposed to, each and every day.